Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Deep Ball, Keenan, Curran, Samuel Akem. We are back. We do not have a guest this week. I think this is episode 10, episode 9. Let me
10.
actually
We're
check.
10 episodes deep.
Let me see. I'll tell you right now.
Hats
This
off,
is
Sam.
episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Episode
Hats
10.
off, Sam. Look
Hats
at
off to
us.
us. Look at
We've been
us.
consistent.
Look, trying to be. Trying to be.
Trying to be.
Trying to be. Anyway,
Oh,
we are bringing you the content that you need and the content that you love. There's been some topics bubbling in FCS football, specifically around the Grizz and the Big Sky Conference that we haven't talked about. So we're going to get into the defensive coordinator changes at Montana. And I want to get Keenan's thoughts. A lot of you guys also tune into Akim's analysis. So you guys have really heard me talk about this ad nauseum with Coach Nuanez, Sam Herder, all of that stuff. But I want to see what Keenan wants to think about, has to say about that. There's some
yeah.
position battles that are going to go on in FCS at
In
Montana
Montana.
in a couple of weeks. Well, spring ball's going on right now, but there's some position battles that are going to go on during the spring game and all those things. So we'll get your thoughts about that, Keenan. Head coaching changes in the Big Sky Conference. I want to know who you think is set up for success. Who do we think? I think the answer is kind of easy based on the new head coaches. I mean, Bobby Kennedy being one of them, but we'll talk about that as well. And then we'll get into some NIL questions, some what ifs, like if we were in the NIL era and we were making a certain amount of money, how would we spend it? Some funny stories, and then coordinators or players. So first things first, thoughts on Montana's new defensive coordinator. He has experience in the NFL. He's coached with Bobby Kennedy in the past. He's coming from Eastern Washington, and if you understand Eastern Washington, you understand the history with Eastern Washington.
You do.
And he's also bringing Wes Nurse as the new safeties coach, and he's bringing Jalen Johnson as a new defensive line coach, also from Eastern Washington.
Also from
last point I'll make: Eastern Washington's defense has given up on average about 30 points a game over the last 2 seasons. What say you, Keenan?
That at face value, not good. Not good. But you know what is good? We have committed to, and I don't know if they came outright and said it, we have committed to a new defensive strategy. Okay. Absolutely. And that is something to applaud. Okay. That is something to be excited about. Will there be growing pains? Absolutely. Right. But I think like anything was better than what was. And I shouldn't say anything because there was times where the 3-3-5 was good, but I just think that for what it was last year, there was times where we were the more talented team and had the better players and just found ourselves in situations where Eastern, right? Where one thing goes differently, we could lose that game, right? Cal Poly had some success early against us. Idaho State, right? So, like, I think
you're forgetting the elephant in the room that had a ton of success against Montana.
No, I'm not forgetting them. I just like they had our number. So I think at face value, I'm excited just for something new, for a change. Just like I was when Rosie left and when Pease was elevated to offense coordinator. You're just excited for a change of perspective. I think there's probably some excitement to be not under the thumb of I don't want to say a dictator, but like more or less, right? Like it was Bobby Houck Ball, and that's how it was going to be. And he was not going to change from it, regardless if it worked or not, or if we were getting gashed. He wasn't going to change from it because he believed in it philosophically. And I think that I'm excited for just a change. Yeah, you could look at anybody's history and be like, whoa, they were not really good in this. There's going to be stretches in coaches' times where they're just not having success. And I don't think that they should be ridiculed exclusively on that, right? I think you got to look at the bigger picture. Here is a tie to Coach Eric
Sanders.
So Eric Sanders, where did him and Bobby Kennedy coach together? They coached together at where, Sam?
Stanford.
Smart Guy School. One of Eric Sanders' linebackers, I got the chance to know pretty well when I was working in the training industry. He came and trained with us at FSP. His name is Curtis Robinson. Curtis Robinson, one of the most professional players. Like, just the way that he operated was like a professional, right? He still plays for the 49ers. Still.
He played
for with the 49ers.
Eric
he played for
at Stanford.
At Stanford. And then has been with the 49ers since then, right? And he just, like, is he a big impact guy? No. Does he play a lot? No, absolutely not. But he's in the NFL and he's stuck. And it says something about the type of professionalism that this coach, who was the linebackers coach there, taught him. And I think if you can take that to the type of school like Montana, where you are going to have athletes, like, they're going to be all right. Eastern was not deficient of talent last year. What I think Eastern's biggest, Tylen Jackson, very good defensive end. Where from? Federal Way. Jalen Jenkins, who we all wanted to be a Grizz, right?
I mean,
where's he from? Federal Way.
I would never campaign for a guy to leave his school. I mean,
no, I would. Obviously, I would. So they were not void of talent, but I think it's hard when you can't get buy-in. So, like, we don't know how efficient would they have been if they had total buy-in.
Doesn't that beg the question, why couldn't he get buy-in?
This is going to sound so bad. There's a type of player that Eastern recruits, and there's a type of player that Montana recruits. And that's probably the most that I can say on it.
Spell it out for me, Keenan.
Montana and Eastern aren't going into the same cities to recruit. They might be.
Fair.
But the type of kid that's going to come to Montana is the type of kid that knows what he's getting himself into, right? He knows he is absent of personal, like, I'm not doing this for me. There's no vanity or there's vanity and glory in being a Grizz football player, but I'm like,
so you're saying Eastern's recruiting me guys, Montana's recruiting team guys?
I shouldn't say me guys, but they, like, in my experience, and I know a lot of Eastern guys, right? So I hope I don't piss them off with this, but they are guys that got to make it out, right? Not Jalen Jenkins, different breed. But a lot of Eastern guys are got to make it out guys, right? Like, hey, if this is my shot to make it out and change the trajectory of maybe my family's life. Maybe I just want to get a good education. That's totally fine, right? There's guys like Andrew Boston.
The reason I asked this is because would you consider yourself a got to make it out guy when you were leaving Federal Way?
No, I committed to Air Force. Did you think I thought gotta make it out when I was going to Air Force? No. I was not. I was a bigger picture guy. I was, hey, there's so much more to football. There's so much more, for sure. There's so much more to football.
Why am I here?
Yeah, well, no, I was there. I still love the leadership aspect of Air Force, right? So, like, that's like I loved that. I loved the discipline. I loved the structure. For me, it was like, hey, I'm you know, I probably have my hat around here somewhere. But
hey, we respect the troops over here. I'm not trying to disrespect.
We do. No, 100%. And, like, you have to be a different type of kid to choose, hey, I'm going to go to basic training while all my friends are still enjoying summer and, like, shave my head. And I was very big picture.
I just want to say this. I especially respect the troops in a time like now when we are sending troops overseas to go fight in wars. Whatever you think about the wars, I respect the hell out of the troops, the people who signed up to do that. Salute to them, man. Salute to them.
For sure.
Salute to them, and condolences to any families who have lost their loved ones in battle out here. But
absolutely
respect the troops a ton. Absolutely. Anyway, continue on.
And what I would say is, like, Eastern's not recruiting Air Force prep guys, right? They're just, it's not. It's a certain type of kid, and it's in a certain type of environment. Like, Eastern is a little inner city environment in Cheney, Washington. Yeah. Just look around, right? And I'm not saying that as a slight. They have really, really good athletes. That's why you've gotten the Kendrick Bournes. That's why you have the Efton Chisholms. That's why you have not Cooper Kupp, but, like, Cooper Kupp was the anomaly. But you look at the type of guys that Eastern has.
Is Jason Tatum.
What?
That's like his nickname. People call him the anomaly.
Yeah, well, boo. Okay.
Wait, let me confirm that. I'm pretty sure people call him the anomaly.
But that's the type of guy that Eastern is going to recruit, and they're going to have really, really good athletes. Now the problem or the challenge is getting all of those really good athletes to play really well together. I have known some guys that were super, super elite in high school. When they got to college, they just couldn't mesh well, not being the guy, right? They had to play a role, and they couldn't do that very well. Jalen Jenkins was such a bigger picture guy. So the fact that he's at Eastern was probably just like, hey, he slipped through the cracks, and they got a winner who knows his role, plays his role really well. Because check this out, when Jalen Jenkins was in high school, he wasn't the number one option on Federal Way. The number one option, both offensively and defensively, plays corner at Auburn right now. Right? So it's like Eastern they're getting the number one guy at a probably not a very good school. If they get a number two guy at a decent school,
Eastern's getting the number one guy at Bellevue Christian.
I don't think we're having many people go.
I know you're in a tough position.
I think we got a couple George Fox guys. I think we have like George Fox, PLU.
Hey, hold
we
on.
Want to send kids. We want to send kids to good Christian schools.
My sister-in-law actually dated a guy from Bothell who went to George Fox.
Great Christian school.
Great Christian school. He transferred.
Great Christian.
He transferred to Oklahoma State and went crazy. And he played.
You're talking about his brother went to Eastern.
Gosh, what's his name?
His brother's Gabe Johnson. Something Johnson.
Johnson. Dog, my wife would be able to tell me what it is.
Gabe. Right now. His brother's name's Gabe.
Fox 2023 stats.
But anyways, yeah. So all to say, I believe in Eric Sanders. I believe in Eric Sanders. I believe in the guys that they hired. I think Wes Nurse is extremely. He's a veteran coach. Like he's coached.
You think they were at a disadvantage with what they were dealing with?
Yeah, I mean, really good coaches have coached at Eastern, right? Cherokee Valeria, who's at I think Kent State right now, maybe could be wrong there. Coached at Eastern.
Leon, I didn't even find it. Leon Johnson. His brother's Gabe Johnson, who also played catches, 1,156 yards, 21 yards a catch, 14 touchdowns, bro, in 10 games.
But all that to say, yeah, George Fox, great school, great Christian school. Bellevue Christian kids probably going to go to a Christian school. Seattle Christian kids too, right? If we get a guy in an Eastern Washington locker room, they're going to be really shocked at the things here in the locker room. Not what you hear at a Christian school. Wes Nurse, very good coach, right? But you got to think like Eastern has had really, really good coaches over the years, right? Bo Baldwin was a really, really good coach. Kentucky's corners coach, I think his name's Alan Brown.
Would you say Eastern is like the Fed and
hey,
Montana is like?
Listen, man. Don't do
I'm
that.
trying to get a comparison. Is Eastern like Federal Way and Montana's like Bellevue?
No, that's no. Eastern. Okay, Peyton Wing will
Montana's
like
this. Like Eastside Catholic.
No. Montana is like Sumner or Lake Stevens, right? Where it's like you're gonna have a couple guys. Yeah, so you don't know, but both of those schools played in the state championship against one another this year. Okay,
Sumner, I do know Peyton Wing.
Peyton Wing, Sumner guy, right?
Yeah,
fits the bill at Montana.
Yeah,
fits it. Couldn't be more Montana, right? If that guy even lived in the state of Montana or graduated in high school, he would be 37 right now. Like I truly believe he is that type of guy, right? Yeah, so that's why he's like he looks the part, plays the part. Montana, yeah, it's like Sumner, like Stevens. I would say, yeah, Federal Way is Sac State Eastern, right? And I love Federal Way, bro. I rep Federal Way. You guys knew it in the locker room. I'm from Federal Way, right? But
our top 5 listeners is Tacoma area.
Yeah, dude, like we are Sac State Iwu, right? Like there was a time when there was probably 5 guys from my high school team that played at Eastern. So yeah, man. But and then furthermore, go ahead, Colorado Grizz fan. Shout out to you, brother. So also I have a tie somewhat to Jalen Johnson. Say it is
defensive line coach. Yep.
Yeah, one of my really, really good friends is a really good friend of his and says nothing but good things about him. So like, you're not gonna catch me like saying, "Oh, get rid of him because he's at Eastern. I believe in the new philosophy. Give the guy a chance. If we suck next year, all right.
brother.
Well, you're out with Bobby, right? But I actually like Bobby. We speaking of Bobby, didn't we just have a kid commit? Bobby Kennedy has been recruiting to no end.
What is your thoughts about the graphics? There's just been a
I
decent
am all for
conversation
it,
in the back
dude.
channels of Grizz Nation. What
No,
are
I'm all
your
for
thoughts
it.
about the handmade graphics?
Is it something you're going to post on your wall? Absolutely not. But you know what? It's authentic. It's
If you were
genuine.
a recruit, would you prefer
I would laugh.
a well-made graphic? Well, I'm saying if they were trying to recruit you and you're trying to choose between a school that's making well-made graphics and a coach that's making his own graphics, which you got to respect it because he's doing it himself. But like,
Yeah,
how would
I
you view
would.
that? If put yourself in one of these recruit shoes.
Yeah. So two things. If I was a kid choosing the school based on the graphics they sent me, then someone should reevaluate who's giving me advice because that's a terrible way to make a decision.
No,
Secondly,
fair, but I
terrible,
think there's some.
terrible,
I think there is a little bit
terrible.
that you can gather from the type of effort that he's putting in, or
Yeah.
the
So,
type
so,
of
so this is my second point, right? It's like, uh, if kids only knew that those graphics that are being sent to them by a coach was sent to the coach by the marketing department. So it's like you honestly should honor what Bobby Kennedy is doing because he's actually doing it himself, right? Like hey, I'm doing this myself. I'm sending it to you. It
is it
shows
not a
that I
little
care.
cringe though? Like,
No, what is cringe? Cringe is caring. Like cringe is
I
like
think
taking some
it is
time.
caring. It is caring. I'm just asking. I'm trying to
Is
play
it
devil's
weird? Yeah,
advocate. Like,
it's
is
maybe a little bit weird. It's kind of corny, but like, hey, corny works.
Corny's a good word. Yeah,
Because you know what? Kids these days, like, they talk about aura. Like, I have a niece that's in 10th grade, and it's like, oh, that's a negative aura. Riz. Or it's like, and like, they actually kind of enjoy through this weird vernacular that they have, they kind of enjoy like authenticity where they're like, oh, this is kind of cool because it's weird and it's different. And so, like, I actually think that bodes well. I mean, they're all wearing throwback, like, parachute pants and baggy jeans and oversized. It's not like the swaggy, stuff that we had back in the day.
jeans, tight clothes.
Yeah, bro. Like
Clothes in
it's not
our era
that.
growing up in high school, everything was tighter, and now everything's loose as
Everybody's
hell. And it's like,
wearing
yo,
everybody's wearing stuff from the night. So it's like it
I
actually
think the
bodes
jeans
well.
absolutely look absolutely ugly. Admit, I've never been a fashion
Yeah.
guy, but I think the baggy
I
jeans
know.
are freaking ugly.
I know you've never been a fashion guy, Sam.
I can put that shit
But
on though. Don't get it twisted. I'll put that shit on with the best of them. You better ask somebody. Don't make me put. Don't make me share a freaking fit that I got.
No, we don't need
I
it.
can
We don't
really
need it.
put that shit together.
Sam,
I can really
I'm
put
glad
it
you feel that way.
together. I
I'm
can
glad
put
you
it
feel that way.
together.
I'm
I
glad you
can
feel that
really
way.
put
But
that
but
shit
in terms of
on.
Eric Sanders, all in favor. Bobby Kennedy, I'm all in favor of the type of recruiting that he's doing. I think he's a super genuine guy. And we'll just see kind of what happens, right? But like, what was the next thing that we were going to talk about? We got to transition at some point.
Okay. Okay, you done? I mean, I didn't know
I'm
when you were
done. I answered the question.
Okay. Okay. Well, moving on with the position battle in the spring. What is the most important position battle this spring for the Grizz, in your opinion?
Secondary.
Secondary, defensive
Yeah,
backs, or
secondary.
cornerbacks, safeties, or just in totality, the whole secondary.
Just in totality because we lost.
Michael Harper
We lost.
gone.
Micah
Keon
Harper
Loud,
gone.
gone.
Keon Loud. Who was Keon Loud, and
Kenzel
then there was
Lawler
other
gone.
Kenzel Lawler gone. Who was the other safety?
Diesel Wilkinson gone. Went to UAB.
Gone. Yeah, UAB. Imagine that.
Even TJ Roush gone. So
Yeah.
the whole secondary is gone.
Yeah, so like that's important, right?
Absolutely.
You got Taco Dollar coming back.
Is that more important though than the trenches? Being able to stop the run, being able to establish yourself up front. Because in my opinion, the defensive line is. I think the defensive line and the offensive line are the most important position battles. Obviously, the secondary matters.
I think I just think automatically having an extra D lineman on the field will help.
Yeah, but if you listen to Eric Sanders, which you might not have listened to Eric Sanders' press conference, but he mentioned how, which is true, at times Montana would have 4 or 5 people on the line of scrimmage. They're not all necessarily defensive linemen, but at times they would run fronts that had 4 guys up front.
I don't think you bring Jalen Johnson if you're not planning on developing big interior guys, right? Like I think I don't think you bring a big guy like that. He's a massive human.
I've never
He's
seen
a
him in
big guy.
person, but he looks pretty big
He's a big guy.
in
I
pictures.
don't think you bring him unless you plan on developing those interior trenches. And I think that we'll do fine with that. We'll have extra D linemen on the field. We'll be able to we have to stop the run. We don't really have a choice. We have to stop the run, right?
Yeah.
So I think knowing that that's going to be a huge
Montana wasn't
emphasis,
terrible at stopping the run last year, though. That's the craziest part
but we
about
weren't
it.
getting pressure.
No, we weren't getting pressure. That's a big part. Is they weren't the inability to get pressure consistently. But the biggest problem for the Montana defense, which probably bodes to schematically, I think was the biggest problem because I think the secondary was talented, hella talented. But schematically, I don't think they were in the right position. So the defense, I think defensive backs replacing that whole unit is big. But also,
Yeah.
schematically, they just got to run some better things. Like I don't know how you, but also the pressure will help with that. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I think
Yeah.
defensive backs is a big position. You know.
I think you have to. When you lose that many guys, I think you have to. And so
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. We'll see what guys step up.
Absolutely.
It's hard to say this early, right? But I will say this: it bodes them well that they have to play against one of the best receivers coming back in the conference, like in spring ball and in fall camp.
Brooks Davis.
And Brooks Davis, yeah. And their quarterback is going to be dicing them up.
Yeah. Let me ask you this while we're talking about position battles and people needing to step up, because I think that receiver room is going to have to step up with Montana. But also another thing that I was thinking about, I was watching some film today. I just did a video on Montana and what Montana State, what made Montana State seem so good in 2025. I'm doing a similar video for Montana's offense. And one thing I was thinking about is when you watch the tape, like Michael Wortham was such a big piece of this offense in 2025. And
Yeah.
you've heard Coach P say that they're not going to have a Michael Wortham in 2026. So what does it look like replacing the production of what Michael Wortham brought to the Montana offense?
You get more creative in the run game, right? Like you have to. To your point, which I was a fan of not having Kiali run much or Kiali run much last year.
He needs to run more a ton. I've said that.
Definitely has to run more this year. I think maybe Brooks Davis runs the ball a little bit. Maybe like, and maybe I'm naive here, but I think Eli was involved. Oh, you know what? Actually, I think Eli was obviously a downhill runner, really, really good running the ball. I think you look for him to make a step up in the pass game. But I also think Monty, I actually think Monty adds a unique part to the offense, and they tried to use him in little pieces. But if he's cut from the same
I'm not sold yet. Now maybe they
you don't
haven't
have
featured him
to.
enough. Maybe they haven't used him enough for me to really be able to tell
Yeah,
what he can do and bring to the offense. But I'm not
I mean, he's
necessarily sold
built.
yet. He's built,
He's
yeah,
built
and
well.
he's definitely fast. But all we
Yeah,
got to see him do is jet sweeps, and maybe that's because he had so much talent ahead of him. But I think
yeah.
that's been one of the gripes with the staff in past years as well, as like the inability to really develop talent. Like they've developed Eli, they've
You, you,
developed Callie Ayat, but at the
you know
receiver
a
position,
big
they've developed Brooks Davis. Have they developed really
yeah.
any receivers? I mean, I guess Jordan Deaver has been here for a minute. Corbin Hendricks has been here for a couple of years. They've started to develop him.
Yeah.
So yeah, but then Bohannon
Well,
was a starter as a transfer.
check this
Michael
out.
Wortham was a starter as a transfer.
You want to know who I think helps them, and this is like bringing this person on. I think Dalton Sneed helps Kiali become a better runner.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
I think he
That is
does.
a great
Yeah.
topic. That's a great topic, actually. So let's pivot a
Yeah.
little bit, and let's talk about Dalton Sneed being added to this coaching staff, which I think is a good add for them. I think he's going to bring a ton of knowledge. I think
a lot of fire.
A lot of fire, a lot of youth to the more youth to the staff, which I think has been missing for some time. But how do you think he is? What kind of influence do you just mentioned? You think he's going to influence him as a runner, but overall, what do you think his impact on this offense is going to
be? I think, well, impact. I don't know that we'll see it in a schematic standpoint. I think where he will do really well is like mentality wise, he's played, professional football. Like, yeah, he played the indoor football for a while.
two-time champion.
But also think you said what?
Two-time champion.
Yeah, let me put respect on his name. My bad.
No matter what league it's
in. No, that was not a knock on not a knock on indoor football. I thought that was probably a perfect game for him because just how elusive he is.
The CFL would have been perfect for him, or even the UFL.
Yeah.
But he never got an opportunity, man, which is a travesty. But
yeah, but I think that he adds youth to a older offensive staff, really older offensive staff, and I think he kind of bridges that gap. And he's someone that Pease can respect and will know, like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll take his advice on some things.
Is he potentially like a bridge player, where like Pease
a bridge coach?
Pease starts
No,
to kind of
no.
like
Pease loves football.
raise him
Pease will
up. No, no,
coach.
no. I know, but like Pease doesn't have much longer left, and he said this multiple times. He said it in front of the media. He said it all the time that he doesn't have a lot of years left in this coaching. So is it a place where Dalton Snead can potentially inherit that offensive coordinator job as Coach Pease starts to leave?
Maybe. What's Dalton? 29, 30?
He's around our age, yeah. So 29, 30, somewhere around there.
Maybe. I could see that. Like I could see it being like 4 years though. Yeah, like I don't think it's something that's I don't think it's something that's like
no, because this
in
is
the
his first
short
job,
term. I
so
think he takes.
but he's
I think
played a ton.
Yeah, he's played a ton. I think he takes a position in the next 2 years, and then I think from there maybe. But I'm also excited to see him work with the receivers. I think like he's going to help them understand the game because he is assistant with the receivers, offensive assistant, but he's working with. Yeah, I saw that he was working with the receivers a little bit, but I think they got an older receiver coach, and I think it helps them understand the game better from an offensive, from a quarterback standpoint.
Yeah.
That thing that Michael Wortham naturally had, I think having Dalton Snead helps them say, like when they ask, well, why are we doing this? Or why was the ball here? Dalton be like, this is why, right? Because I see the game from a quarterback's perspective. I'm telling you, this is why. Yeah. He's the communicator that can bridge what Kiali'i and Pease are thinking to the receivers. Because there's always going to be a disconnect. Receivers are divas. We're just divas in general. And we're always going to feel like, I was open. Well, Sam.
I never cried about
never
the ball. Never.
Oh my goodness, Sam! You never did your.
Never.
You were the kid. Stop it.
Never.
Stop.
Stop. I don't even know what that movement you were just making. What are you
Stop,
talking about?
Sam.
I
Sam,
never did
how
that
much have we?
You can go back and watch
Sam,
all the film. You can go back and
Sam,
watch the
how
film.
much?
I never
Sam,
did that.
How much have we talked about 2018 Grizz Cat and you not getting the ball on the last play?
We haven't talked about that. I said,
yes,
in my
we
opinion,
have.
No. Let's go back. What I said was, I felt like I should have asked for them to throw me the ball. I didn't. And I didn't complain about not getting the ball. I was fine with the play call. I said I should have went to Dalton and said, hey, throw me the ball. I should have done that. But I never was that type of guy, and you know that. If you're trying to backtrack,
stop it.
Diva, I'm not.
Stop.
Anybody
Sam.
who's watched me play knows I'm not a diva, and I've never been that guy.
Stop.
Never. I am not that guy, Keenan.
You have to have some diva to play receiver.
I don't, and I probably should have. I probably would have got the ball more if I was more of a diva. I don't have diva.
Stop.
I don't have diva.
Crazy.
I was okay with the targets I was getting. When plays was drawn up for me, I was okay. When it was drawn up for somebody else, did I feel a way sometimes about where the targets were going at times? Absolutely. There were times where I was like, yo, like
that's diva.
That should be coming to me. But I never voiced it, and I never made, and I never.
Diva. Nobody does in college.
Film, you never would be able to tell based on watching the film. You never would be able to tell if I was upset about not getting the ball. Never.
Nobody does in college at Montana, because we're Montana.
We would have been. Hey. we would have been on the bench. ASAP.
Exactly, bro.
ASAP.
Sam, bro, I wasn't even like whining when I lost my spot my senior year. I said, can I play special teams? I said, can I play special teams, please? Like, bro. So that's what it goes back to. You got to recruit the right type of guy at Montana. Yeah, if we were at Eastern, we would have been,
If you're trying to say I was a diva, though, I just want to finish the.
No, we're just saying you have some diva in you.
I do. Okay.
Thank you.
If diva is me wanting the ball at times, there were times where targets were going in a certain direction where I felt like I should have been getting the targets. Absolutely.
And we all feel that way.
But to me, a diva is you are going to make it known that you should be getting the ball.
And that's not Montana. Montana's not recruiting receivers that do that.
So I'm not a diva. Exactly. Thank you.
No, you are a diva, but you're just not like a...
Anyway, so next topic we had on here was the Big Sky has a lot of head coaching changes coming in 2025. Which new coach will have the most success in their first year? Weber State, you got Eric Carr,
Bobby Kennedy.
Tim Skipper at Cal Poly, Chris Fisk at Portland State, and Bobby Kennedy at Montana. I know this topic I was kind of...
No. I think Bobby Kennedy, but I also think people are kind of asleep. I think Fisk will do all right. Yeah, I think Fisk will do all right. I mean, I think that Portland State job is just a hard job.
It's tough, bro. How do you think of it like this. No, well, think of it like this. If Eastern
gets all the inner cities like good kids. Portland State kind of gets, like they get like they get like the second wave of inner city kids. Like they get the kids that like will work so hard, but just maybe are just absent of a little bit of talent, or they get the guys that were hurt their senior year,
but have a ton of talent.
That have a ton of talent. Peyton Wing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, so like that's the type of kids that they're getting is like the kids that were not good enough.
But then how do you not get a dude in your backyard, Samori Toure?
Because that
for like 1,500 his senior year, bro. What are we talking
about? They just were not.
What are they looking at? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, and they're like, they're kind of weird because they feel. About? So okay, this goes back. This is actually funny. This goes back to before Barnum, right? I don't know if you know. I think he does color commentary for someone, and I don't know what. I think it's for Root, maybe. They had a coach. They had a coach before Bruce Barnum. His name was Nigel Burton. That's what it was. Nigel Burton.
Head coach?
He was the head coach. You got to look him up, right? And people that know Big Sky will know Nigel Burton. You see him? Black guy, bald. So check this out. I got a story to tell about this. I got to. Well, he might have been going bald.
CW.
So Nigel Burton, good guy, probably a decent recruiter, and I took a visit to Montana my senior year. I think it was my senior year. And Nigel Burton used to come around Federal Way so much, right? My junior year,
he's in Portland, like
senior year.
How far is the drive? 4 or 5 hours?
3 hours. 3 hours. Yeah. So Nigel Burton used to come to Federal Way because we had a lot of talent. Like he offered probably, but when I was in high school, probably 10 guys. Actually, one of my older brother's best friends went to Portland State. And I took a visit to Montana, and Nigel Burton came up to the school, and he's like, "Hey, you really should think about taking a visit to Portland State." And at this time, Portland State was god awful, like really bad. They had one good season. It was my freshman year in college. He's like, "Man, you really gonna go to Montana and not visit Portland State?" And like that is representative of the idea of Portland State coaches have in their head.
The delusion.
Like a delusion of like, like, yo, we really should be competing. Like we should be competing for the best guys. And it's like, no, man.
2-9, 7-4, 3-8, 6-6.
7-4 was that freshman? Was that 2015?
2011. He was there from 2010 to 2014. Barnum got there in 2015. So 2011 he was 7-4. That would have been what? Your freshman, sophomore year?
That was my sophomore year. He wasn't recruiting me then, but it was. They had started to get bad, and Idaho was the same thing. Idaho's coach, I think his name was something Sinkovich.
It wasn't Perino, or what's the name?
It wasn't Petrino. No, it was Sinkovich. Sinkovich was their OC or receivers coach or something. But it was the same thing where they were not very good in the Sun Belt, and I don't remember. It might have been Chris Sinkovich. So both of them came to my school and they're like, "You're really not going to take a visit to our school, but you're going to go to Montana?" Because I wasn't tripping FCS schools.
A little different. Portland State's crazy for saying that, but Idaho it's a little different.
No, because Idaho was bad too. Like Idaho was not good. You look at
they were FBS at the time, I guess.
Didn't matter. Did not matter, bro. Did not matter. Because if you think FBS schools, I was tripping Air Force, San Jose State, who was really, really good at the time, and was looking at other FBS schools. Like I was not looking Sun Belt. If I was going to go
Air Force over San Jose State,
yeah, and we'll break that down too. But anyways, Portland State felt like they were better than they were, and so they were not good enough to get the good kids, and they usually would get that second wave of kids, the kids that like waited on an offer. They would get that kid, and then if the guy was hurt, they would get that kid because it was like everybody else dropped off of him, and they would get that kid. So I think Chris Fisk, I think he's a really good coach. Like I think he's going to do a really good job in just getting better kids there. So we'll see, man. Like we'll see if he can sell the dream. we'll see if he can give a fresh perspective. It's still Portland State, but like, who knows? He obviously did pretty good with Central. Like he did pretty good with Central.
He did. He did. This is a different level though, and also too, like man, the recruiting is tough.
It is, but he'll recruit Portland kids more.
How do you get guys there when you don't have a stadium of your own? Like, yeah, we play it. We
You get
play
to
at
stay
Hillsborough.
home. You get to play ball, and
You get to play in a high school stadium. It's exciting. We don't have a locker room, but it's exciting.
but dude, they get some nice stuff sometimes with their Oregon tie.
Man. Come on, bro.
I'm just saying they get some nice stuff sometimes.
Come on, bro.
So
Tell us the San
we'll
Jose
see.
story, and then we'll get on the next.
So San Jose, I actually was committed to San Jose. I was committed to San Jose. Yeah. What?
I'm just making sure.
Not disrespecting me like that.
I'm just trying to figure out why you chose them over.
I was
why you
good.
chose
I
Air
was
Force
good in
over
high school.
them. I'm trying to figure out why.
So
you
here's
chose
why.
Air Force over them.
So San Jose State. Here's the story. I had a teammate in high school that was a late offer to San Jose State. My junior year, he went to San Jose State, committed.
He snatched your shit.
What?
He snatched your shit.
No. This was before. This is my junior year.
Okay,
his senior year.
Okay.
So the coach that was recruiting me from San Jose State, his name is look this guy up. His name's Dante Williams. Okay, Donte Williams. His girlfriend at the time was my mom's childhood best friend's niece.
Dang, he's at Georgia right now.
He's at Georgia now. So Dante, he is him. But Dante was there. He was at Idaho State. Then he went to San Jose and was like, yo, like, I want you here. You know, obviously we got family ties.
San Jose. He was at Washington. He was a GA at Washington.
Yeah, but before Washington, where was he at?
Playing.
He might have went to Idaho State.
He played at
Idaho State.
Yeah.
So then went to San Jose State. Was like, yo, I want you here. We got family ties. I got your boy here. Like, yo, come. And he was recruiting DBs, dude. Like he had Andre Chachere.
They wanted you as safety.
They wanted me as a safety. And I was like, he came, there was like a satellite camp where they had a bunch of colleges, but it was like local colleges, like Central, Eastern, no big schools. He flew up just to coach me. He literally said at the camp, he's like, yo, I'm running these drills. I'm here just for you. I just want you. He's like, I'm not watching any other kid here. I'm just here to recruit you. And I was like, wow, that's dope. Like, that is love. No, it was love because I already had an offer.
Oh, yeah, fair.
So it was like, I already have an offer. Cool. So we did the camp. He was like, look, man, I want to take you on a trip, blah, blah, blah. Like, great. So I go on a trip. I commit. But on my trip with my buddy, like, you know, I mean, you're a good kid. When I was on my trip, I was having some fun, right? I had way too much fun. Way too much fun the first night, right? Me and this homie from Federal Way were out in San Jose, had a really good time, right? The next day, and it was the only trip I took solo. Well, no, I went to Montana solo. Yeah, my mom didn't come, my grandma didn't come. So I had too good of a time. The next day, I was hurt, like really hurt, like not feeling good in all the meetings, like the academic meetings. I just could not focus, bro. I was just like, whoa, I need some water, right? So, but still was like, hey, look, I believe in this coach. I believe in Dante Williams. Like, I'm coming here because of him. So as soon as I left there, I committed. And I was like, yep, coming to San Jose. Don't know if we're going to be good, but I know I believe in this coach, right? Yeah. And actually, it's a blessing in disguise that I flipped because he ended up at Arizona like 2 years later. Like, he was at San Jose with 2016.
Well, he got promoted to DBs and RC. What is that, run game coordinator?
Recruiting coordinator. That was my, yeah. So my freshman, when I was in Air Force.
2016 to Arizona.
So I would have been there 2 years and he would have been out.
Yep. Right?
Which is blessing in disguise because you didn't have transfer like you could now. Like, yeah. I would have been screwed. Yeah. So I went on a trip to air because my great uncle was in the Air Force. So my grandma, you know, RIP, was like, hey, you have offered Air Force. We would love for you to just take a trip there. Like, your uncle, you know, he's 80 years old. He just whenever he called my grandma every Sunday, and he's just like, oh, I would really love for him to just take a trip. Like, it is such a prestigious place. It's, it kind of, it was one of those things where I just was like, wow, like this would make my grandmother so proud to go visit this place. Right.
Yeah.
So I go on a trip there, and they recruited me hard too. And they were like, we think you could be a great leader of men, and you can, and like those, me, Sam, like that, those are things I'm like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, I get that part of it. Right. And I was smart. Like I was a smart kid, and I didn't really think I was going to make it to the NFL. I just thought like, oh, it'd be cool to play college football and like get a degree and do all this. So when I went to Air Force, buddy, they roll out the red carpet like nobody's business. They show you what your life can be like 40 years down the road. And as someone that is, and someone that's very forward thinking, like I saw my grandma's eyes, like, oh my goodness, he's going to be so successful here. And I saw my mom's eyes, and then I saw like Air Force does have everything. Like they have facilities wise, they have everything. Thank you, taxpayers. They got everything that you can need, and they're always doing construction. And the guys that I was with, they were all cool. Like on my visit, they were all super chill. It's really hard. But when I was there, I walked out of the tunnel, and I had this Air Force hat on, and I walked out of their tunnel into their like mile high, not mile high, but almost mile high stadium. And my grandma's there, and they play the hype video on the thing, and I was just like, all right, I'm doing it. I was like, I'm doing it. And so I called Dante. Yeah, no, literally. So I told my grandma, and she almost like started crying, and she's like, oh my, I'm so proud of you. And like, wow, it's just such an adult decision that you're making. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, and whatever. Just making my grandma proud. And I called Dante when I got home, and I just was like, hey, Dante, like, I love you, but like I think I'm gonna do this, and this is just like the greater good for my future, and I think it's gonna make me successful, and like here's the reasons why I'm going here. And literally Monday he says, I'll be at your house tomorrow. Flew in the next day, sat down, had dinner with me, talked to my family, and was like, are you sure you want to do this? And I said, look, this is who I am, blah blah blah. And he was just like, okay, I respect your decision, man. Like I can't be mad at you. And he's like, obviously, come out there. Caught a flight from San Jose the next day to come talk to me in my living room. Yeah, that's why I rock with Dante forever and ever. And I'm so glad that he's ascended in the game. Like he's a phenomenal. Why was they doing all that for you? Yeah, I had more than 7 touchdowns, Sam. So on defense? Probably. I mean, I had more than 7 picks my senior year. I had like
you're saying like my 7 touchdowns. You have more than mine.
Yeah, I had like 10 picks my senior year, bro. Like I was nice like that. I was overshadowed. Not overshadowed. He was much better than me. Yeah, but I was in the era where Buda Baker was a 4-star. We're talking gold jacket. Buda Baker was a 4-star. I was a 3. Yeah, I was a 3-star. But I was like the next safety after him in the state. So it was like Buda Baker, me.
And you went to Air Force, Keenan?
Yeah. About, bro? Well, bro, Washington was recruiting Buda, right? Boise State staff left and went to Washington. Sark went to USC.
Chris Peterson.
So it was like, yeah, all of them went. They went after Buda, and they got Buda. And so it was like, I was kind of like, you're only going to take one safety.
He was a freaking dog.
Yeah, they actually got JoJo Mack. They wanted a hitter. I was like a rangy safety that was like covering the field. Yeah. They wanted a hit. They got JoJo Mack
at defense.
Safety, I would have balled at Montana at safety. Literally, I would have balled because I could cover the field. Yeah, and I was very strong. Free because I was a very instinctual player. Like I could read because I played quarterback. I could read the quarterback. And I just kind of felt.
That's what you should have did coming into your senior.
Right.
You should have like, hey, Coach Houck. Like, hey.
I did. I went and talked to who did I talk to? I think I did talk to Shannon. I was like, hey, I'll play defense. Like if you guys want me to. Like I know that you guys are looking for a DB, and I could play corner too. Like I was long enough. I wasn't fast enough, but I was long enough to play corner.
I would have cooked you, bro. Oh my God.
I would have jammed you up in the line, Sam. Your releases with your big hands. I would have been in your chest. But anyways, I went to Air Force, and then I was there for a year. And actually, the reason I left is I had a little brother on my father's side that passed away, and I was like, do I actually want to be this far away from home and not be able to get home? So I went home for like 3 weeks, and I was like, yeah, I'm leaving. Like I'm going. And I tripped Montana, and State was like, hey, do you want to come here and play receiver? And I said, sure.
Asked you the 500 questions.
No,
He didn't do that.
I was coming. No.
I don't think he did it to me either. But everybody told me
Yeah.
about that part of the recruiting process. But I don't think I ever had
No,
that.
I reached out to Lengi Suanoa and Ty Gregorak, and I said, hey, if I were to leave, like, could I come there? And they said yes.
Tampering.
Don't matter. And so I came on my spring break to Montana, tripped. They were like, all right, cool. As soon as you leave Air Force, we'll have you sign the paper. No questions asked. So
okay. How would you spend your NIL if you were a head coach and as a player? Let's say, for example, and let's do the head coaching example first. You have $300,000 total to spend in NIL as an FCS head coach. This is FCS.
300? So that's like not a lot.
No, but like you got to think about it as an FCS. I think most FCS schools like 300 is probably pretty
good.
I mean, you think anybody's paying $1 million in NIL at the FCS level, bro?
Well, no. How would I spend it?
$300,000 as an FCS head coach. How would you spend it? Quarterback, got to take care of your quarterback. If you say, for example, you're
to some degree. You
got Ayat. You got Ayat as your quarterback. How much is he getting?
I think he's got to get 75.
You got 2.
Because I think you have to. Yeah, so I think you go 75. If I'm taking Montana's roster, actually, I'm probably going 60 to Ayat, 60 to Eli, 60 to Peyton Wing. So right there, I'm at 180.
Staples. 2 offensive staples and your defensive staple.
Yeah, so I'm at 180. So I have what, 320 left?
120. You got 300. You got 120 left.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you just spent 180 on 3 players. Should we up the number?
I just think 300 is a really low number.
I mean, but
for Montana State.
Bro,
Montana State is a low number.
300,000?
I think guys are getting. I think 500 maybe is a fair number because I think you have to give like at least 60,000 to your O line, right? Maybe your top O lineman gets 20,000.
I don't think O linemen are really getting anything in NIL.
They should though. If the coach is dictating it, they should.
Are they good at? Do they like just being very?
We had a first teamer last year.
Come on, bro.
And sorry guys, you hear our only guest is the guest in the back. It's my dog.
300,
so
bro. I think 300 is a good number. I think 300 is a good number.
Okay, so I got to go. Okay, then yeah, I got to give maybe 75 to Ayat, 75 to. I got to give 100 to Eli.
You spend 150. You're spending 175,000. You're giving 100 to Eli and 70 with $300,000.
Eli's worth 500 on the free market. Yeah,
fair, but this is not the free market. He decided to stay. So with that, he understood what he was.
I'm not gonna hurt. Like I'm gonna let him get some bread. I'm gonna let him get some bread.
Okay, so you got 175 sewed up into 2 players. Where else is the rest of the money going? You got 125 left.
You could probably get away with giving Peyton Wing 25. I think he comes from good stock. I don't think he's pressed for money.
100,000 left.
Get 10K? I think I think you got to get like 40 to Brooks.
4.
Yeah. You got to get 40 to Brooks.
So 100 for Ayat or 100.
If you don't score points, you're not going to win.
Fair, but let me break the math down for you. 100 for Gilman, 75 for Ayat, 25 you said for Peyton Wing. Fair, so that's.
I would say 30 for Peyton Wing, 30 for Brooks Davis.
So 60 plus 175. I'm not great at math. 25. 30, what is that? 25, 35.
135?
So 235,000.
235, yeah.
And 4
so you have 65 left? 65 left?
65 left.
I mean, who else needs to get paid? Maybe you give 10 to a young corner that's coming.
Because you're not bringing. That's the thing about the FCS. That's the thing about the FCS, which I think about all the time. Is like, in terms of NIL, like the guys you're bringing in through the portal, it's like you're coming to us for a reason. Like you're not
him.
Yeah, like,
actually, you know what? Like you give 10 to a guy like the guy that came over from Carroll, the safety, because he actually was All-American.
Yeah.
So you're like, yo, here's
Braden,
10.
It's Braden. I think it's Braden something. I can't remember his last name.
Yeah.
Orlandi,
so like, here's 10, 15.
I think it's Orlandi, but
so you like, here's 10, 15, right? Yeah. But like the other guys that are coming in, like you don't. Maybe you try to invest in like a guy like Keon Loud, where you're like, yo, we're gonna give you 15 off the rip, just to make your experience in the dorms better.
He's out of the dorms at that point.
No, but I'm saying if he was a freshman coming in and was like that, like if you have a corner that you're like, yo,
you're the FCS level freshman is not getting anything. I'm sorry. If I'm the head coach, you're not getting anything.
If I can get a really, really good DB that is like fringe and say, hey, look, you're gonna go to Boise State and you're gonna sit. No, check this out. Hear me out. Hear me out. This is the question about how I would do. Because look,
go ahead,
if you're gonna go to Boise State and you're gonna sit, right? But you could come here and you could play and you could really, and I project that you could dominate here and someone's not seeing what I'm seeing, I might give you 15 just to make you look. You don't know much. You're probably going to spend it on your buddies that are like freshmen anyways. So I'm going to give you 15 just so you can ball, so you feel loved, and then we're good. We're good. I'm telling you.
I was on your staff. We would be butting heads. You're gonna give this freshman.
Who are we gonna give it to?
Nobody. Like we're gonna.
So we're just gonna keep the money.
We got 65. No. We're not gonna keep the money. We got.
You gotta incentivize somebody to stay.
We got 65,000 left. We're spreading that out to the rest of the team. You're basing it. I'm basing it on what Montana.
I'm not giving guys money to sit and watch the game.
No, but Solomon
being on the team is
Solomon Tuliapupu. He can't get a little something.
He would be here anyways.
I'm just saying.
Isn't he going in his 8th year of football? Ninth.
But Solomon,
buddy, we've given you $500,000 in free education. No disrespect,
bro. I'm not giving a freshman, freshman, incoming freshman, $15,000. I'm not doing it at the FCS level.
Sam,
he's
FBS, on his 9th year of football.
I'll do it at the P4. And maybe Solomon's not the guy. I'm not giving it to
he's on his 9th year of football. He's on his 9th year of football.
A true freshman's not.
He should have a doctorate. I'm gonna give it to a true freshman that I feel like if I give him this, like maybe he commits to staying longer.
Your team would be ass. I'm sorry.
If Keon Loud got 20 grand last year, you don't think maybe he's like, maybe I can get a little more and stay? I'm the man here. I had a really good freshman year.
Yeah, but
maybe I stay.
So how much can you ask for? We know you're good, but you also were hurt. We didn't see you a ton. And when you knew your red
still
shirt
up in the ante.
When you knew you got to protect your red shirt, that's when you came back.
Because when you say spread it to everybody else, you're saying like, oh, another starter. Like, you think I'm giving?
No, just kind of evenly.
You think I'm giving
spread it out, evenly spread it out to everybody.
No.
But I'm not giving a freshman 15,000. Okay, if you're a player, let's say you're a player at the FBS level, you're a receiver. You go to a mid-major Power 5 or upper tier G6.
Why not Montana?
Power 5. Because Montana's. I'm saying you're going to make this as a player, 300,000. You're not going to make 300,000 at Montana. I'm sorry.
But like hypothetically.
Okay.
You know what I would do?
What would you do?
Jedi shots for everybody.
I was just going to say Fox Club.
No, I've never been there, bro. No, okay. So if I was 300,000, right? This is me now speaking.
Yeah.
At a G5 or we'll say Wazoo. We'll say Washington State. State. Now thinking I probably would like put some of it in like a mutual fund and like I'm a little bit smarter, right? But when I was a player,
think about Keenan 2016, 2017 Keenan.
Buddy. I would have been driving around like Yaman Sanders. I would have had bro, Yaman Sanders has to have pre-NIL. Yaman Sanders had the nicest car of any college football player that I've seen. He had the Charger with the custom Challenger with the custom like speckle paint, right? It was like sparkly in some angles. And then he had black Forgiatos. Crazy. So I would definitely have something like that. Depending on where I was at, like I probably would have like some fits. I would have gave a lot of money. I would have gave a lot of money to my mom for sure. Just to like, and then like
if you got it, you gotta.
Yeah, my living situation would have been better too. Like I would have had a really nice pad.
Nah, honestly, I would have still. If I had that money, I would have still lived in the spot you lived in, right on campus. Why do I need a nice crib? Why do I need a nice crib? I'm saving money on rent.
No,
bro, come on.
No, bro, that place was so small. I mean, did it have his advantage?
$700 a month.
Yeah, when I took over the
we were
full
all
lease.
Paying like, I think. I don't even remember what I was.
When I took over the full lease, it was $6. No, it was $575.
$570, bro. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
I think at that time I was paying like $800 or $900.
And I would say the proximity to campus had its advantages.
Bro, you didn't have to use your car.
That too.
You rode your bike everywhere. Like,
Yeah. That was nice.
if
Yeah,
I
that was
had
nice.
300,000,
But you're
when I
not
was in
gonna live like
Montana,
that when you're making 300,000. You're not gonna live like that. That was like a small, like 600 square foot
I'm
apartment.
cheap, so I would have been saving. I would
Yeah,
have put 100,000 away. Honestly, too, like we gotta think about taxes, bro. Like a lot of like, so really, you got
they don't
150.
know.
You got 150
I would have sponsored a camp at my high school.
and paid
I would
for
have bought like
everything.
a bunch of shirts and stuff for
Yeah.
kids.
Okay.
So
Last
yeah.
thing. Last thing. What was the craziest moment from your playing days? What was the funniest moment from your playing days?
Craziest. I always go back to this, and like it was early on. It was before I was really a contributor, but there's probably nothing that will top when we beat North Dakota State.
Mm.
Like that was my first game as a Grizz.
Warehouse.
Yeah, there was a warehouse party. It was just a really cool environment, right? Like
Yeah.
Smokey, we beat Carson Wentz. Like I thought, oh my gosh, wow, I'm so glad I left Air Force for this. Like I'm
Right.
so
First
glad.
experience
I
as a
went from
Grizz, you're like, yo, this is
bro,
lit.
a year before then, I was like just ending basic training, shaved head, like wasn't really a
What the
college
hell?
student. I hadn't talked to my family in weeks. Like, bro, it was like, wow, this is crazy. And then like go back to my dorm room because I had a dorm. I was in dorms my freshman year, and like my room is spotless because I had these habits from Air Force. So that was probably the craziest because it was just like, wow, this is the most memorable experience of my life. The funniest moment, I
Moody.
think it's no, no. If you know, you know. That was funny, but no. Bro, honestly, the funniest moment in was probably like had to do something with like Jerry. Like Jerry is probably one of the funniest players I ever played with.
Yeah.
But also just oh, you know what? I could show a picture of it.
Your funniest moment?
I can yeah, actually, let me find it really quick. I
I'm
have
trying
a
to think of
really
my craziest moment from my playing days and my funniest.
yeah. Mine was let me go way
I
back.
can't even think of any funny moments right now, bro.
So
Oh man, actually, there is a funniest moment. There is a funny.
what
It's like
was
a
it?
funniest like. So my senior year, when basically, and you guys got to think like in 2021, like people always talk about like when you work a job and like everybody leaves and you're the last one of the original crew there. That was like me in
Yeah.
2021. Justin Germ gone, Samori's gone, Brennan's gone. Like everybody
Yeah.
from the original, like everybody, Jerry's gone. Like there was nobody left, bro. And I'm the
The
last one there in
original crew.
2021. And freaking, bro,
Oh, actually it's here.
the D's nuts jokes, bro, in mine, bro, it was crazy. Like I've had this, I've talked
Bro.
about this with Keelan White and Junior. We've talked about this before, bro. But it was insane, bro. It was actually insane the amount of like minds that you had to navigate. It was actually crazy.
Another one is actually taking a couple shots before speaking at the Great Grizz encounter.
Oh man, that was that was comedy.
I just
You
was afraid that like I actually did a really good job speaking, but I was like kind of afraid because it was
no, you
Hauk, and like Hauk
didn't.
has his hand around my neck, and I'm speaking. I'm like, yo, he doesn't even know I had a couple shots before this.
Bro, you fumbled that so bad.
No, that's not homecoming. You're talking about homecoming.
Ah,
Yeah, that was
okay.
actually bad too. That was bad. And for you to say you fumbled that so bad when the next day I actually fumbled and we lost the game was crazy. Crazy. That is crazy choice of words, Sam. Way to kick a man when he's down. But yeah, man, Montana was like the best times of my life. As a young person, just being in Missoula, embracing the city and like Big Dipper ice cream, freaking Bridge Pizza, Chicken Alfredo, Market on Front burritos, right? What are those subs
Bro,
called that we used to have?
market on front burritos are like $9 now, bro.
Yeah, they used to be $5. What
Five
was the subs
bucks.
that we had? The ones on the south side. We used to have them at away games. or when we were
Taco
leaving.
Sano?
No, we had Taco Sano during fall camp for breakfast burritos. That was nice.
Subs, Taglieri?
No, they were like the bread was all the way around and it covered the bottom, and then they just filled the empty bread.
I don't
You know what I'm
remember.
talking
I
about?
never knew. I know exactly what you're talking about. I never knew where they got those from, but I know
But
exactly
those
what
were
you're talking
fire, low key. Like once you, they got fire when I got older. I was like, man, these aren't that bad. Like, bro, it surely beat having Chick-fil-A every time we were on the road.
I love Chick-fil-A. I just had
No, it
Chick-fil-A
was
yesterday.
terrible. There's a Chick-fil-A in Missoula now?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there Canes out there?
No. I've been thinking
That could
about
be
that's
something
a
that we.
business. Hey, if some
Anybody listening to the pod and you got some money, I'll move
hit
back.
us up. Well, all right. Do you have anything else you wanna say?
No.
To
Thank
our
you guys
listeners?
for being, 10. Thank you guys for being loyal listeners. We really appreciate it that we've been able to kind of do this endeavor and just talk about football, talk about stories. And we promise to have more guests on. The backstory is Keenan fumbled. He wasn't the best at getting a guest scheduled. So, but hey, it's always good when me and Sam get to talk ball.
Get better.
Yeah, we'll get better and we'll get better as we go.
Study the
And
film and improve for next week.
Appreciate you guys staying along for the ride.
Yeah, absolutely. Episode 10. Make sure you guys, anywhere you guys get your podcast, you subscribe to the podcast. Make sure you guys go follow our new socials. We have a Twitter or X account. It's Deep Ball Podcast, Deep Ball Pod. We have an Instagram account, Deep Ball Podcast. We have a TikTok, Deep Ball Podcast. So make sure you guys go follow all of our channels and get any of the clips. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you guys get your audio, everywhere you guys can get our content. Go tune into the content because we're bringing it to the masses. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we will catch you guys next time.
Yes, sir.